Whatever. I had a teacher in my high school that I wanted to fuck so bad, and her name was Miss Ibanez, I think. Oh no, Iovine. Miss Iovine was her name. She was so hot. She must have been like 25 or something. Oof. She so hot. She was the cheerleading coach and also biology teacher. And she had this like Long Island kind of like Italian, like raspy, Jewish American princess, but Italian kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about? Like that kind of vibe. And she got me suspended for 6 weeks for having a knife in school. And when she did it, she cried. And there's nothing hotter to me than someone who I think is hot crying. No, I'm just kidding. I'm the complete opposite of that. I can't stand when people are crying.
Wait, why was she crying?
Because I never told this story.
I don't know if like in this detail, like I feel like it always just ends as I brought a knife to school.
So I was in my biology class and there was this guy, Ryan, and Ryan, me and him had this like rapport of like, we would bust each other's balls, but we were friends. And I would always be like, I'd be like, yo, I'm gonna cut you. Like that was kind of my like phrase for a little bit to that guy. I'm like, I'm gonna cut you. I'll say that to him. And he would, and at one point, and I had a knife on me in school, something literally like this. Like literally I had something like this. Can we open this up?
Did you have this with you every day?
Dirty.
Or you got caught on the one time you had it?
I had it. I started bringing it. So it's not like I had it every day. Should I just... And
definitely don't do that on YouTube.
Don't do that. Oh yeah. Should we cut that out?
No, I'll just censor it.
Yeah, put
It's
something
a knife.
over it. Put something over it. It's a knife. So I kept going. I'm gonna cut you. I'm gonna cut you. And he was like, one day he goes, we were laughing, and he goes, you're always saying that, and I've never seen you have a knife on you or nothing. And I go, it was just like that feeling of like, if we can get away with me doing this, it's gonna be so funny. And I literally like looked at the teachers, and they were not paying attention. And I looked at him. I pulled it out of my pocket, and I went, and I put it on the desk like that. And obviously, I slammed it on the fucking desk, so everybody heard it. The teachers looked at me, and so then Miss Iovine takes me out of the class, and she goes, "Was that a knife?" And I go, "No." And then she goes, "Just tell me, because I don't want you having this. And if you give it to me now, this fucking rat bitch. If you give it to me now, I won't tell anybody, and I'll give it to you at the end of the day." And that was the last time I ever believed somebody. That was the last time I ever trusted anybody. So I go, all right. And I take it out of my pocket. I give it to her. Big knife, too. And so I'm like, I walk back in the class. Ryan's like, what happened? I was like, she took the knife. She's not going to tell anybody. She's cool. She's hot. Great tits. Hot, And then I literally go to my next class, and it's like, "Well, Brendan Sagalow, please come down to the office." And I'm like, fuck, I'm like, God damn it. You immediately know. You go, like, there's a part of me that's like, I wonder if this is about the knife thing. I go, wow, what a coincidence. I wish I had my knife on me. Hope I'm not in trouble. And then it was a big thing. I once again lied and threw another kid under the bus. And this was not like in kindergarten where, it's funny too. Like when we did that first episode and I was like, yeah, I was 5 years old and I was lying about this kid. There was someone who commented and they're like, that's fucked up. And it's like, I was 5 years old. This I was not 5 years old for. I was a sophomore in high school. I was 14, I think. And I said I carried around for protection because there's a kid who lives near me who was kind of a bad kid. He had already gotten kicked out of school. This kid, Evan, right? So he had already gotten kicked out of school for selling weed and other shit. He was just constantly getting into trouble. And so I threw him under the bus. I was like, what are they going to do? Kick him out of more school? What are they going to do? Kick him out of homeschool? Can't do that. So I go, well, Evan is kind of like and he's such a sweet kid. Like, he was just kind of a troubled kid. He meant nobody harm. He was never a violent kid towards me, and I kind of threw him under the bus, try to get out of it. What are you going to do? What am I going to do? I'm 14 years old. Come on. When am I going to be honest and just go, I thought it was cool, and be like, you know, like that Eminem line, and all these kids, they see us with guns, and they think it's cool, so they carry them around. You know, that whole thing. And that's what I was doing. I was carrying around a knife because I thought it was cool, and I thought it was whatever. And then they're like, oh, you know, and then so I'm done for the day. Like, they're like, you have to, and I'm in the principal's office, and Miss Iovine comes in, and she's like, can I talk to you? And I'm like, sure. You know, I'm already like upset. I'm not even mad at her. I'm kind of like, you had to do it. Like, at the time, I still was like, not mad. I was just like bummed that this was happening. And I'm like, my parents are going to be so mad. And she just broke down crying. And she's like, I'm sorry. I had to. You understand? And I'm like, I understand. I get it. And she's like, I had to. It like went on a little long. You know what I mean? Where she's like, I didn't want to do it. But I guess her Italian came up. And I guess she heard her fucking grandfather or something being like, you don't fucking rat, snitch. So she felt very bad about it. And she cried. And I had to like kind of console her in a way. I should have made a move. But anywho, so then I got suspended for 6 weeks. And I actually had a Spanish tutor at the time because they send tutors to your house. Spanish tutor, also hot. Wish I made a move on her too. We were right near my bed.